today the plan is pretty simple. We're going to be going ahead and building a mob farm for villager spawners. So in order to do that, we need a lot of villager spawners, and over the course of the map, I've been collecting some. If you go here in PV2, I have 7 stacks and a little bit more, and we're going to be using those in today's video. Before we do anything, if you guys are not subscribed, consider subscribing with notifications. I'd very much appreciate it. And if you're already subscribed, then leave a like. That helps a ton as well. Anyways, without further ado, let's go ahead and start making this farm. So here's what I'm thinking. We're gonna go ahead and build the farm over here, right under our island kind of, but not under the main part. So we're gonna figure out the location of where the spawners will go. We're not really gonna build a platform because we don't need it. And I think there's island perks we need to get up. We need spawner limit. We also need hopper limit, and we need AFK radius as well. So we'll take some time to figure this out, of course. So in order to start, we need to get some stone brick. We're gonna get 6 stacks, and we'll go ahead and build over here. So this will be the center chunk of the farm, but I'm thinking we'll start with a 3x3 chunk area because that's kind of the radius we'll have with our account that we're going to use to AFK. And one trick I'm going to be using is not using lava, because you need lava to kill these certain kind of mobs. You can't kill them manually, but I do have a trick we're going to be using to make sure we kill them before they touch the bottom of the world. So we'll go ahead and make a line over top of this whole thing, and then we'll figure out the center of the chunk. So this is the center right here. So now we need to go ahead and start deleting the outside. Okay, so this is the center right here that we're standing at, and I want to have a 4-block gap in between each spawner. So we're gonna need to go ahead and build this out to make it a 4-block gap area, and then right here will be the first spawner, right here will be the next one, right here will be the next, right here will be the next, because we want as much spawning space as possible for these spawners, of course. So now we'll go ahead and break all this, and I guess I can put my alt down in the center. Right up on this block is where the alt will sit, so I'm gonna set up a warp for that really quick. I just gotta align myself a little bit better. So I'm gonna align right here. This is good enough. IS create warp, and we'll do AFK 3, I think is the warp we can set up. And then we'll go ahead and break all this down, and now the mobs should spawn perfectly without having issues of the AFK platform. I can actually make this a little bit better. I can just change this to slabs and it'll help as well. I have to move the slab up. There we go. And we'll put these slabs around here. So now that'll help even more in case mobs spawn at a higher height. But there we go. We have a farm set up, and you're probably wondering, how are we going to collect all this loot? It's pretty simple. We're going to be using auto sell chests with chunk hoppers, of course, and we'll be getting those in a moment, and we'll be building it up here as well. So I guess what we can do is start figuring that out. We need 1 mythical. We need the rest to be legendary, and eventually if I do get more mythical, I will use them. I'll replace the legendary ones because mythical is just better than every other one, especially for mob farms. So mythical is going to be smack down in the center, so we need to go ahead, go up a bit, and we need to go ahead, place this down, and we need a regular chest. We're going to go ahead, grab this, boom, and we need legendary chunk hoppers. Now that I think about it, we're not going to use the legendaries unless we need to, and we do have a problem. We can't place any because of our hopper limit. So we need to go ahead, go into keys, and see if we can win any sort of common chunk hoppers, if there's any. There's some in cloud keys. Maybe we can get some from the cloud keys. I'm actually gonna PV1 all these legendary chunk hoppers so I don't get rid of them. There we go. We got a common chunk hopper that can upgrade our island perk as we saw earlier in the video. We just have to delete a hopper that we had previously. So we'll go ahead, delete this one, place the common down, let our island perk update. Yeah, it just needs to update really quick, so we got to give it a bit here. There we go. The island perk is updated. So now we can go ahead, break this, and we can go ahead, place this down if it lets me. There we go. Now let's take a look. How many do we have? We have 40. Okay, that's perfect. So we can easily use all these if we need to. Now we need to go ahead, place down 2 to start with, and then we'll get the farm set up. And if we need to put down more, then we'll put down more. But the first plan of action is we're going to go ahead and grab out the villager spawners. So let's go into PV2 and we'll grab 6 stacks to start with. And I think I'll put them all on different pillars to start with, and then we'll just go from there. Okay, let's go ahead, place down the villagers. And can we put more in this? No, it's only up to 64 per stack that we can put in each mob. I don't think there's anything that can change that, but we can have up to 1,000 spawners overall. So now the villagers are just falling and not dying. They're disappearing in the void. And a way to fix that is going into Gem Shop, and we're gonna buy a fire scroll. So now if we go ahead, chuck this in here, the next villager that spawns is on fire, and it should die before the void. Yes, it does. So now, as you can see, all the money went into here. We made 3,200, and it's going up like crazy already. already from just one villager spawner. So we're gonna buy 5 more of these, and we're gonna go ahead and repeat the process. And we'll also be getting other scrolls as well, I'll be mentioning here in a moment. But first, let's go ahead, place all these down and see how much it's making. So we have the 6 stacks down that I had originally, and we've already made a ton of money just from sitting here for a bit. It's way better than Cactus at this point because you can get these spawners way easier now because we're later into the map. But if you saw last video, Cactus is good if you want to build something, of course. It's not going to be your main source of income right now though. Okay, we need to go ahead, buy more fire scrolls. We need to go into gem shop, and we're going to buy 2 more fire scrolls, and we're going to buy 16 villagers in the spawner shop. So we'll buy 16, so that's 100 million right there. And we'll go ahead, place these down and put in the fire scrolls, and then we have some more scrolls we need to be putting in these. If you go into gem shop, there are different scrolls called loot and magic. We're gonna get 8 of each, so 80k gems for the magic. And if we do /scrolls, we can go in here, put them in one at a time. I think just spam click this and upgrade it. It costs 100,000 gems, I believe, for the whole scroll, so the purchase of the scroll and the upgrades. So we're gonna upgrade all these to the max. This used to be a tedious task in the previous maps, but now it's actually way easier to upgrade these scrolls. But as you can see, we spent like 1,000,000 gems there just to get maxed out scrolls. So what this will do is basically make the spawners spawn way quicker and spawn more mobs to make us even more money, what is absolutely insane. And as you can see, we're getting a decent bit of emeralds every time it sells. It's not like consistent, but we do need to place down more chunk hoppers because eventually this is going to overflow. So we do need to get 1 more legendary chunk hoppers. So I'm gonna open up a little bit of keys to see if we get one. So I'm just gonna keep salvaging all this stuff that we get until we get a legendary chunk hopper, as you can see, and then we'll salvage the rest. So basically what this will do is not make it so we overflow, because if we have too many items dropping, we don't want the hoppers to fill all at once. They need to all go into this chest right in the instant. Now we need to go into the gem shop and buy, I believe, 8 of these loot scrolls. And what these do is give us more loot from this. So this is gonna make it so these hoppers are gonna be put to work just with this amount of spawners. So let's go ahead, go to scrolls, go into the upgrade menu, and we're gonna start upgrading these. There we go, we're done upgrading. So now we need to go ahead and go into each one of these and put each scroll in. So then we can have the most efficient villager farm that we have so far. So there we go, we shall be getting more loot from this. So we're at 429,000, and it's going up at a quick rate. And if this went overnight, that would be insane. So I do have to set up my alt for this. So IS Warp AFK 3 is where the alt will go, but the only problem is I don't have the alt set up. So what I'm going to do is AFK right here while I'm setting up the alt, and then I'll give you guys an update on how much we've made over time. We're currently at 700,000 around there. So I'll give you guys an update once I have the alt on and how much I made from the time I had to set up the alt. So I just got done setting up the alt, and we made about 2 million, quite literally, just from like less than 10 minutes. What is actually pretty good. For me, at least, that is good for only 8 villager spawners with max scrolls. I was genuinely expecting it to take longer to set up my alt, but I guess I got it done pretty quick. I know I said we're making this the best villager farm, but we're also going to be adding other spawners to this farm eventually over time. It's not just for villagers, but we will adjust it. So then we have, let's say, witches, guardians, and silverfish. We don't have any guardians currently, but eventually if we do get any, they will go in this farm, just so then we can have it all in one place. But if we take a look at the chest here, we're going to sell it. You can see the chest is filling pretty quick. And if we only had 1 chunk hopper, it might overflow. So that's why we had to get multiple chunk hoppers. It's just a wise idea. But there we go. We have our villager farm set up. It's not like the best layout, but I mean, it's a pretty good layout if you want spacing between the mobs to spawn. I think it's good enough for now. And if I need to make optimizations, I will. But there we go. We got our villager farm going.